Hello guys, this is Dups De Genius, and tonight we are going to be busy with 2017 question paper of 2017, and we are going to do, I think question 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. We will just see. Okay, then for now we are live and we are going to make it. This is 2021, all the way from Genius Tuition Institute, and that is Dups De Genius. Yes, we're gonna rock it. Okay, thank you guys. Let me go to the pages. Let me go to the pages. Yeah, guys, now we are going to do this question paper, and yes, this is the question paper that we are going to do. And this is question 1. Now, question 1 says, solve for X. I'm going to do, the first, the third, and then simultaneous equation. And then this is for an inequality. So I think if we can do that, then that will be fine. Okay, let me start with the first one, that is solve for X. And when we do that, I will just like to remind you guys, when you do that, it's solve for X and they are all quadratic. Make sure you use quadratic formula. If you are not sure of your factorization, your recipe is quadratic formula. Never listen to people who will say that the first one needs factorization. There is nowhere it's written. This is written. Look, guys. Solve for X, and there is nothing that is nothing is said about the methodology. Now that means you have to use the method that you understand best. So guys, let's go for our stuff. Guys, that is 2x squared. That is x squared. X squared yes, this is it. That is x squared plus 9x, x squared plus 9x plus 14. Now it's x squared plus 9x, x squared plus 9x, then plus 14 equals 0. Right, guys? Now, here we need to do something. Yes. We are going to solve for that. We are going to solve for X. And as you can see here, this is x squared plus 9x plus 9x, and then, it's x squared plus 9x plus 14 equals 0. So guys, we are now going to do it. We're going to do it right now. Swap this. Right. This is our thing. Now, what do you do here? What you do here, if you look at this, it says if the first term here is 1, then that means you must look at the last term. The last term is positive 14. Now, positive means the signs are the same, and that is the sign of the middle term. Therefore, you'll have 2 positives inside the brackets. And then it says, find the factors of 14 when added, giving you 9. Now, the first thing that we do is this. And then equal 0. Now, the next that we do is we look at this. This is positive. Now, the signs will be the same, and that should be the sign of the middle term. Now, our middle term is positive. Therefore, we put in plus and plus. Now we come to the factors. The factors of x squared here, that is x and x. And then factors of 14 when added together, giving you 9. That will be 2 and 7. Now, from here, guys, you can see, what do? You equate each and every factor to 0. Therefore, if you take this to that other side, your x will remain this side, and then this 2 goes that side. That will be minus 2. Or x will be equal to, you take that to that other side, that will be minus 7. So that is how you factorize. Otherwise, if you don't know how to factorize, what do? You do this. X equals minus, the first thing is to write your A's and B's. My A is equal to 1. Your B equals positive 9. And then your C equals 14. Now, minus B is 9. Then plus minus, the square root of 9 squared minus 4a. A is 1, then 14. Then all over 2a. All over 2a. Now our a is 1. Now therefore, this is equal to, if you punch here, you punch with your calculator, then you are going to get, the first one will be minus 2, and the second will be equal to minus 7. Now, these are the 2 zeros of the function. Now, as I've said, how do you check whether these 2 are correct? Now, do you know what you do, guys? You need to substitute. How do you substitute? You substitute the value of x in the original function. You substitute the value of x in the original function. Now, what is the value of x? In this case, the value of x, as we see, x is minus 2, and here it's minus 7. Okay, this is minus 2, and that is also minus 7. Now let's check. I'm gonna use a red pen in this case. Now we check. We check. How do we check? You substitute 2 here. That will be 2 squared. Yes, that is 2 squared plus 9 into 2, and then plus 14. It's minus 2, in fact. No, it's minus 2. Now, that equals 2 squared. Minus 2 squared is 4. It's 4. Then minus 9 multiplied by 2, that is minus 18. Then plus 14. Plus 14. This plus that gives you 18 minus 18, and that gives you 0. So we are correct. This is correct. This is correct, guys. So what do we do next? Our next step is to go for, let's do this one. Let's do this one. So here, what do we do? What do we do? We have, that is 1.3. No, 1.1.3. 1.1.3. What do we have here? We have the sets. That is the square root of x squared minus 5 equals 2 the square root of x. Now, when you look at this, you'll find that you have 2 sets. These are called sets, S-U-R-D-S. Now, what do you do there? You have to get rid of that, because you are supposed to solve for x. X is under this radical sign. Therefore, to get rid of those, these are square roots. You square them. You square this, square minus that, and then squared equals the whole thing squared. Now, if you square this, the square root squared, it's to the power 1, is this thing to the power 1, then you'll be left with x squared minus 5, and this will be equal to 2 squared. 2 squared is equal to 4. The square root of x squared, that is x, and then you take everything to the right hand side. That will be like this, then minus. Now 0. Okay, now you have x squared minus 4x minus that. Now this is one simple. What do you do for factorization? You must look at the last term when the factors of this, when subtracted, giving you 4. This tells you that you have to subtract, and they must give you 4. Now, factors of this is x and x. Factors of 5 when subtract giving you 4. It's 1 and 5. Now look at this. This is no longer positive, it's negative. So if it's negative, guys, what are you supposed to do? If it's negative, yours is to realize that you are going to have negative and a positive. That is unlike signs. But the bigger factor of 5 takes the sign of the middle term. It's 1 and 5. Therefore, this one will take the sign of the middle term. Negative means the signs are different. Therefore, if this is negative, this one will be positive. Then that's it. So therefore, what do we conclude? What do we conclude? We conclude that your x is equal to -1 and your other x is equal to 5. So But what do you do next? You have to substitute. Let's take we check whether this is correct. How do we do that? We do that by substitution. We have to check that by substitution. So we check. We check through substitution. So we take the left-hand side, LHS, and then RHS. So on the left-hand side, we have the square root of -1 squared, then -1 squared, -1 squared, -1 squared, and then -1 squared minus that. -1 squared is 1, and then 1 minus 5 is -4. The square root of -4, that is non-real. That is non-real. Therefore, it's non-real. And when we take that, we still substitute. That is 2, the square root of that. Then it's non-real. It's non-real. Then, but let's check. This is the same as the square root of 4 multiplied by the square root of -that, and that gives us 2, the square root of -1. Now, therefore, the left-hand side is equal to the right-hand side. Now, meaning, if they're equal, that is a solution. -1 is a solution, and now we come to the next one. For the next one, let us substitute here. Let's substitute here. Yes, we have the square root, that is 5 squared minus 5, and that is for the left-hand side. Now, how do you do that? This is equal to 25 minus that gives you the square root of 20, and the square root of 20 is equal to 4 times 5, which is 2, the square root of 5. Now, let's go for the right-hand side. For the right-hand side, we have 2, the square root of, 2, the square root of x. Now, what is the value of x? It's 5. Now, look at this. They are equal, therefore, they are both solutions. They are both solutions, guys. They are both solutions. Now, this is how it looks. Both solutions. So, this is it, guys. Now, let's get to the next. Let's get to the next. The next is let's take, I'd like us to do, okay, no quadratic. No, let's not do this. It's simple. Let's take this. Let's take this. You are given that you have f at x, f at x, f at x, f at x, f at x is equal to x squared plus 2xy minus y squared. No. I'm doing the wrong one. No. Oh my God. I copied the wrong one. Or it is given that f at x equals x squared plus 8x. 8x then plus 16. Plus 16. Fine. Now, then the first question says, solve for x. You solve for x. Solve for x. When f at x, when f at x is greater than 0. Is greater than 0. Now, this is an inequality. For inequalities, the first thing to do is to calculate for critical values. For critical values. Now, that must be equal to 0. Then your x squared plus 8x plus 16 must be equal to 0 to get the critical values. So our critical values, okay, the factors of 16 when added together, they give you 4. That is 4, that give you 8. That is x plus 4 and x plus 4. Then that equals 0. Therefore, x is equal to minus 4. Minus 4 again. Then you don't have to repeat that. Therefore, x is equal to minus 4. So now the second is to check the graph. Our A is positive, meaning our graph will be concave up. Our graph is going to be concave up. Our graph will be concave up. And if the graph is concave up, now let's draw this. Here we have the critical values. Critical value is at minus 4. Here is minus 4, critical value. So the graph is going to be concave up. And if it repeats itself, that is minus 4, that means it turns on this. It touches it only once. So what? We come to the solution. We have to find the solution. Our solution is f at x must be greater than that. It will be greater than this. Greater than this. That is above. Now, snap, snap. Meaning it will not be equal to this point because on this point it's equal to minus 4. Then your graph, your x, for the solution, you have to write the solution. Now for the solution, you draw the line, and then this is your critical value, that is x, and then it is greater than, meaning above, then it's a blob, and then this goes this way, that way also. Then it goes like and this. Now this will be your solution set. So this is how you solve for inequalities. The first thing that you need to do is to find the CVs, find the critical values, and then draw the sketch, and thereafter write the solution. Write the solution. So that's it, guys. That's it. So let's move to the next. Let's move to the next. So the next is, let me check. Here, 1.3.2, it says, for which values of P will f at x equals P have two unequal negative roots? Right. Now, for unequal roots, let's do this. Our f at x, it says f at x must be, our f at x, must be equal to P. What is f at x? It's x squared plus 8x, then plus 16 minus P. You take this to that other side, then must be equal to 0. Then you group them. Your A is equal to 1, your B is equal to 8, it's 8, and your C is equal to the whole thing that is independent of x. That is 16 minus P. Now, the question says, let's go back again. For which values of P will f at x have two unequal negative roots? Now, For unequal roots, what happens? It means our b squared minus 4ac, which is it must be greater than 0. Now we substitute. Our b is 8, then it comes here 8 squared in brackets. Don't forget, always put that in brackets. Now that is that. It's 8x squared, 8x squared, and then 8x squared minus 4. Our a is 1, then our c is equal to 16 minus p, and this must be greater than 0. So what next? This is 64. This is minus 4. It's 64. This multiplied by that is 24, 64. Then we're going to have minus 64, then plus 4p greater than 0. Now this is 0, guys. Therefore, 4p must be greater than 0. Our p must be greater than 0. Now this is the solution. For which values of p, then that. Now meaning graphical representation of that, if this is p, your p, the critical value is here, and then it's 0. Now meaning it must be greater than that, then it will go this way. Greater is on the right hand side, so it will go this way. Now this line will be called p. So this is how it is done. This is how it is done. So guys, it's simple. Now we are done with that question. We are done with that question. So let's move on. Looking at that equation, question 2, you'll find that you have given the following quadratic pattern. Now the quadratic pattern is written as this. That is question 2. Question 2, and then the pattern is 5 minus 4, then minus 19, then minus 20. Now, remember, this is quadratic. That is also called parabolic pattern. So now number 2.1. Put 2.1 says, determine the constant second difference of that. Now, the constant second difference, we start first by doing this. This minus that, you have 5 minus 4 is a list. Then minus 19, I just want to show you this. Then minus 20. Now this minus that, this minus that, this minus that. This minus that is minus 9. This minus that, it's plus 15. Minus 15. And then this minus that, it's negative 1. Then this minus that, it's negative 6. It's 19. This, that, minus, it's minus 9. This minus that, it's a plus, then it's negative 15. This minus that is gonna be positive 1. And no, something's not right here. This minus this is minus 9. This minus that is minus 15. It's minus 15. Minus 19, minus 40, not 20. Oh my God, I missed it here. Okay, thank you. Now, This minus that is 15, and then this minus that is minus, it's 21, it's 21, yes. Minus 20, minus 21. Okay, this minus that is minus 6, then this minus that, minus 21, that is minus 6. Now, the question, here we have the first difference. We have the first difference. No. Nope, 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 nope. We don't need this. Yes. Yeah, this is it. Now, what do we need? We need this. This is the first. It's minus 9. And then this is the second. The second is always constant. Now, this is the second difference. So what do we do? The question said 2.1 point that, let's get to it. Determine the constant second difference of the sequence. Now the constant 2.1, the constant difference is equal to minus 6. This is constant. It's minus 6 minus 6. That is 1. And then 2.2 or 2.1.2, and that is determine the nth term of the sequence. Now for the nth term, we know that 2a, which is the second difference, is minus 6. Therefore, a is equal to minus 3. Why? You divide by 3 both sides. Both sides. You divide by 3 both sides. And that is the first one. Now the second is you take this. This is the first. The first difference is always defined by 3a plus b, and that equals negative 9. That is negative 9. Our a is minus 3. It will be minus 3, 3 into minus 3, then plus b equals negative 9. This is negative 9, negative 9. When you put it to that side, your b will be equal to 0. Your b will be equal to 0. And then for the first term of that, we have a plus b plus c equals, term number 1 is 5. Then a is minus 3, a is minus 3, a is minus 3, a is minus 3, then plus b is 0, then plus c equals 5. Then you take this to that side, your c will be equal to 8. Your c will be equal to 8. Now, therefore, what do we know? We know that Tn is equal to an squared plus bn, then plus c. Now, how do we deal with that? We substitute. Your a is minus 3, then n squared. B is 0, then the whole thing is going to be affected. You multiply by n, and that gives you 0. You write nothing there because that is 0. And then your c is plus 8. And then what do you do? Remember, guys, you don't have to write what you don't know is right or wrong. So let's check. For term number 1 is 5. Then T1 is equal to minus 3 into 1 squared, then plus 8. No. It's 3n squared. No, what did I do? It's 8, man. Come on. It's 8 here, sorry. Our C is 8. I forgot to write 8. Okay, and then plus 8. Remember, our first term is 5. 1 squared is 1 multiplied by that is minus 3. Then you will have minus 3 plus 8, and that gives you 5. Therefore, this, our Tn, is correct. It's correct. So that is how you do it. So 2.2.3, which term of the sequence? Which term of the sequence is, it's 2.1.3, which term of the sequence is equal to negative 25939. Now it's equal to Tn. Now you are going to take this 3n squared, negative 3n squared plus 8 equals negative 25939. Then what do you do? What you do is you take this to that side and this to that side, and then it's going to be positive. Then it's negative 3n squared equals, it's going to be you plus 8, then it's minus 8, then it's going to be 7, 4, then 9, 5, then negative 2. Then divide by minus 3, your n squared will be equal to 3 into 20, it's 6, 7, 8. It's 8 times, that gives us 24. Then 1 into that, it goes 5 times. No, it's 6 times. Times, then it goes 4 times, it's 12, then 27, it goes 9. Therefore, this n will be equal to the square root of 8649. And if you check the square root of that, let me check the square root of that on the calculator. On the calculator, I just want to check the square root. Then the square root of 8649. 8649. Then that is 93. Yes, 93. We only take the positive. Why? Because n is counting numbers. Therefore, your n is 93. Now, therefore, what did you do? You have to, your n is 93. Then what do? You check, substitute. T93 is equal to minus 3 into 93 squared. Then is it a plus? Yeah, plus 8. That will give you negative 25939. That's it. So guys, that's it. So we move to the first term of an arithmetic sequence. The first term of the arithmetic sequence, it says like that. It says the first 3 terms of an arithmetic sequence are this. Okay, here you have the variables. Variables are there, so we need to do something. Okay, the first term is that is 2.2. 2.2. It says the first 3 terms, it's 2k minus 7. The second is k plus 8. And the third, 2k minus 1. 2k minus 1. So these are called arithmetic sequence, AS, arithmetic sequence. That means it has constant difference. So what do we know about this? We know that term number 2 minus term number 1 is the same as term number 3 minus term number 2 because it's a constant difference. It's an arithmetic sequence, therefore the difference must be constant. So what do? We take the first term, we say therefore k plus 8 minus 2k minus 7 is equal to 2k minus 1, then minus k plus 8. Then you break the brackets, that is minus 2k, then plus 7, then here is k plus 8, and then here you have 2k minus 1, then you negate everything that is inside the brackets, that is minus minus. So let us find the solutions. This is minus k plus 15, and here what do you have? You have, this is k, and then minus 9, k minus 9. Now this is negative, let it go that side. We have 2k, this goes that side, and that is 24. Now you divide by 2 both sides, then you get 12, then your k is equal to 12. But what about our question? What about our question? Calculate the value of the 15th term of the sequence. Now, if our k is 12, that means the sequence is 12. It's 24 minus 7, the first one, 24 minus 7, 24 minus 7, that is 17. 17, the second is 12 plus that is 20. Then 24 minus 1 is 23. Now, therefore, our constant difference is 20 minus 17, which is term number 1 minus term number 2, and that gives us 3. The same 23 minus that, then that is just to confirm that. And then next, our A is equal to 17. Now, therefore, term number 15 is equal to A plus 14D, which is equal to A is 17 plus 14 multiplied by 3. This is 12, then 42. 17 plus 42, and that gives us 59. Therefore, term number 15 will be 59. It will be 59. So that's it, guys. That's it, guys. So the last one, calculate the sum of the first 30 even numbers. Oh my God. 30 even numbers. Now we must first start by finding, okay, the first even number. Okay, 2.2.2 of the sequence. The first numbers, that is 2, then plus 3, that is 20, 26, and then plus 3 is 29, plus 3, that is 30, 32. Now, then I'm going to circle the even numbers. Even numbers are 20, 26, and 30, 32. Now, this forms calculate the sum of the sequence. The first thing that we need to do is the sequence. We don't know whether it's a quadratic or arithmetic or geometric, but what do? This minus this, 6. This minus this, 6. Yes, that is arithmetic. So if it's arithmetic, guys, we know what to do. We know what to do. So our next step is to do what? Our next step is to, what do? Remember the sum of the first 30 terms. Now, our n is 30, and our first term is 30. Our first term, let me just push this up. Yeah, our n is 30, and then our a is equal to 20, and then our d is equal to 6. Now, therefore, S30 is equal to n, which is 30 over 2 into 2a, it's 20, then plus, okay, let me start with d into n is 20, then minus, then that will be 19, then close that. This is 15 into, it's 15 into, this is 40 plus 9 times 6 is 54, then carry 4, that is 114. 114, then it's 154 multiplied by 15. 154, no. Yeah, it's 154 multiplied by 15. 154 by 15. So let's multiply that. Let's multiply that. I'm sorry, guys, I'm using my calculator. No, my phone as a calculator. So let me do this. 15 times 154. 15 times 154. And that is 2310. It's 2310. Now the sum of those terms, that will be 2310. The sum of the first even 30 even numbers, it will be this. So guys, we are now done with question 2. We are done with question 2. So the next lesson will be on 2017, and it will be the next 2 questions, which will be question number 3 and question 4. Now we are going to do that tomorrow. We're going to do that tomorrow. Thank you very much. Now this is Dups De Genius, all the way from Genius Tuition Institute, and we are proud to be live, guys. We are proud to be live, guys. So what are we gonna do? What we need now, guys, is to say thank you very much. And this is your host, Dups the Genius, all the way from Genius Tuition Institute. And I am happy to have you once again here. Thank you very much, guys. Now, the grade 12s, we have started. This is it. This is how we do it. And Aluta, Dups the Genius, all the way from Genius Tuition Institute, which is his brainchild. And hasta la vista, guys. See you. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy, yeah, boy. Yeah, everything is fine. Mathematics is so simple, guys. I like you to have patience and the love for mathematics. Love what you do. Thank you very much, guys.